Okay, before we start, I know that this video isn't great as far as audio-visual quality. In fact, this may be the lowest quality video in terms of audio-visual quality that I have ever posted. And that's because I didn't have my normal setup. In fact, all that I had was my phone, and it's not a very expensive phone. But I still wanted to make this video, it was still fun, and I hope you can still enjoy it.
Ooh, look at that thick lobe. Now wait a minute, that can be the intro right there. Hold up. Look at that. Nice thick lobe. Not the thickest lobe. Action. Alright, let's go. Start.
Alright. So, I was perusing through the internet looking for things to disagree with, as I usually do, and I came across this video, How to Live with a Pagan. Now this here is my neo-pagan girlfriend. She is a Wiccan, not the kind of Wiccan who's, you know, a teenager and edgy and different, but the kind of Wiccan who grew up in a Wiccan family. So, let's dive into it.
Here's the first email received. Our son or daughter is struggling with same-sex attraction.
So, Kaylee, as a pagan, are you gay?
50%, but the paganism isn't the reason why.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Well, there's a correlation here according to the video.
Oh, is there? It's more like 70 to 20, but like if you want to be realistic, but
This is happening more often these days because of our culture, and a lot of Christian parents, they are heartbroken, they are devastated, and they really are confused about what to do because they do not in any way, shape, or form want to give the impression that they are accepting of their lifestyle, and yet they want to love their child. What should they do?
Well, that's easy. Kaylee, I love you, but I don't like the way you are. I'm gonna stay with you, but again, I don't like you the way you are.
fucking dick. I hate people like that. I'm sorry. Like, I can't even, like, sit here and joke about it. All I can think to myself is there are literal people that just come up to you and just think, fuck what you think. But we can still hang out. And it's like, you could have went about that a much nicer way, but okay.
Answer, love your child. Love your child. I understand that same-sex attraction, it is a different kind of sin. I understand the dangers that are involved, your concerns about what might happen to your child.
You do know that there's no scissoring in heaven, right? If you keep it up, God's not going to want you there. I know you can't change who you're sexually attracted to, but you're not even trying.
Do you understand? I've actually had, like, things told like that to me.
You're not helping your case, Pagan.
I told you it was 70 to 20. I don't deserve this.
But when it comes to what you're supposed to do with this kid, I think my answer is you love that child just like you would love any other unregenerate sinner. Do I recognize that there are some challenges involved with this? They want to come home with their partner. What do I do about that? Answer, you set the rules of your home. And different parents, I think, will come up with different rules. But let's just say you come up with something like, all right, you can come home with this significant other of yours, but there'll be no public display of affection.
Oh, so no PDA, but it's a good thing that houses are private residences. So now the gays can display all the affection that they want. Nice going, Todd.
You are not going to be influencing the other children. You'll not be sleeping in the same bed. But bring this person over because, brace yourself for this, we're going to love on that person too.
But you know what? It's okay.
Okay.
You can bring her over, and we're all going to love up on her. In a Christian way.
We are called to love these people, set up rules, make sure that influences and dangerous practices don't take place underneath your roof.
But don't be too gay.
Of course.
Because then everybody else might turn gay. You don't want to be a bad influence now.
No, yeah,
don't be too gay.
Spreads like a fucking disease, let me tell you.
Yeah, so just dial back the gayness.
But I would suggest to you that if you make this a stumbling block issue that divides you, you won't be preaching the gospel to him or her until years later when perhaps you reconcile. We need to stay in the lives of sinners in order to have access to them and let them know how much we love them, so when we do wisely choose to speak truth into their lives, they might hear us.
For right now, we're not going to talk out our differences. We're not going to have this discussion. Instead, I'm going to wait until later when I think you're more likely to hear me out and agree with me.
Let's tackle another scenario. Sent to dilemma@wretched.org. My brother lies all the time. He even steals money from our parents and then lies about it. And the question was, what do I do with this brother?
Did you take my wallet? Where's my wallet?
I don't have it as of now.
I know you pagans can't be trusted.
Yeah.
You need to put the appropriate guides up, the guidelines up, to make sure that there isn't something terrible that happens, that people aren't being hurt or wounded. But then you go about the business of loving your brother. Why? Because he's a lost sinner. That's why.
Okay, but no credit card. Like ever. Like you're never getting a credit card. You're a pagan. You know, they have spending habits apparently. They steal money. Credit card's not for you. You can't be trusted.
Oh, I have the
pagan.
fucking spending habits.
You do appropriate things to protect yourself and your property, but if they color within those lines, I believe we're simply called to love them and speak truth to them wisely and appropriately and at very strategic times.
Since you're a pagan, why don't you tell me next time that you are vulnerable, likely to hear me out and accept Jesus so that I can preach to you then, okay?
I've legit had people, every single time I would get upset and they'd be like, I can help you. And they would say, you just need to listen. And they'd be like, listen to the scripture. And I was like, you know what I need? Some fucking food, a good movie, and to be in bed. Like, can he do that for me? And they're just like, he will help you in other ways. So what you're saying is he can't.
Another scenario. My sister just converted to Catholicism because of her husband.
As a pagan, you're not a Catholic, are you?
No, please don't.
No.
Please don't tell me that people actually think those things. Is that real?
Yeah, you know, if you're Catholic, you're not a true Christian, so that's pagan.
And we're back.
Okay, but to seriously answer the question or discuss the title of this video, I don't know what it'll be, but I'm sure it'll be clickbaity enough for you to have clicked on it. So how do you live with a pagan or somebody of a different religion? You just do it.
Yeah.
Be mature.
Legit, like any single time there's anything brought up about like our religious viewpoints, we kind of just listen to what the other one has to say. Obviously, neither one of us go, you're 100% right. Like, we're gonna change our religious views right now. But it's more of a, okay, I can see why you would think how you think like that. That's fine. And it never turns into, some people, for some reason, expect it to be something that you never bring up and it'll create an argument. But, like, not once has that ever happened.
Yeah, but that's kind of what the guy in the video is saying. You haven't seen the video, but he's...
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, well, he's saying not to bring it up, like, as an argument, not to just be forward about it, and to keep it, like, a constant thing, but he's saying just hold off until a time when they'll need it the most, that sort of thing. But I don't think that'll help either. I mean, think about it this way. How would you live with a vegan? You buy him vegan food, and that's pretty much it. That's all you have to do. You don't have to be vegan. You don't have to turn him into an omnivore. You need to be mature enough to understand your differences and work with each other despite them. But I think the problem here is Christianity, or the people who are very strongly Christian, because they feel like everybody else is wrong, and they need to change. And I suppose Muslims feel that way as well to some extent, but virtually every other religion does not feel that way. Hinduism doesn't feel the need to convert everyone. Jainism, Buddhism, paganism, they don't feel the need to convert everyone. So it's actually pretty easy to live with a pagan because they're not going to bother you and you shouldn't bother them. Same thing with an atheist. They don't have a religion, so it's fine. It really, truly, honestly does not matter, and it shouldn't. So, and honestly, I commend Todd, some of what Todd is saying, because I can agree with some of it. Don't make this an issue that's constantly brought up. Don't let this be a dividing thing, and to lock up your credit cards. Those I can agree with.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now hold on. I am really good at budgeting.
True fundamental Christianity is pretty preachy. They're trying to preach and convert everyone all the time. And he's saying, dial that down a bit. He's making it a step more mature, saying that you should be a bit more accepting and understanding of people who have different ideas. But you still have that little bit of contention where they still want to convert you when the time is right. The real way to go about it is to understand each other's differences and work with each other despite them like an adult. Anything less than that is less mature than that. So that's the secret to it. It's really not a big deal.
It really bothers me when people, there are some people who just like laugh at it at first and they're kind of just like, oh, I bet that's horrible. Like, I bet that takes a toll on y'all's relationship. I bet that makes it difficult. And it's like, it really isn't. We joke with each other about our own religious views towards each other. Like it's not anything that gets us, like, irked. People want to put their 2 cents into it as if there's an issue being with someone who isn't the same or doesn't see the same religious views as you do. Because I've noticed that no one else has an issue with other people being another religion. No one really cares. No one has an issue. But I find that it's a lot of Christians who are like, oh, are you sure about that? Oh, well, I don't think that's gonna work. Well, we need to help you think like us. And it's like, I don't even tell people that I am pagan unless it's directly asked. I do wear some things that people notice when I'm out in public, like my pentagram, and then I have my lapis here, which I have different stones because I believe they do different things. So, but just today, I'm wearing my lapis, but some people will notice that and they ask, but I don't just walk around like, you should be pagan. Oh, you're looking at something pagan? Let me come right in, because I can tell you about it. You don't hand
out pamphlets?
No.
In front of a grocery store? You don't leave out booklets about the basics of paganism?
I don't wear a shirt that says, yay, paganism, on the back or anything.
You don't leave out stands with brochures on paganism in tourist attractions?
When it comes to me and him dealing with each other, we do a pretty good job. And I mean, the only thing that ever causes an issue is when I really want some vegan food. So he has to cook it because I can't cook very well.
I mean, but another thing is that, like, you deal with each other, you kind of have to do it in the context of their religion. Like, I'm not going to go around playing with an umbrella indoors, even though I don't think it does jack shit. She does. It matters to her, so I'm going to respect that.
But thank you, God. I'm doing an actual outro instead of you just talking and then, okay? So, for some reason, he has a hatred of intros and outros. Like, he just doesn't do it. So, like, I'm just doing it for the first time ever. So, we both appreciate very much every view, every subscriber, and I want you guys to know that he actually does read every comment. On a regular basis, we're both going through every comment, talking about it. If we don't answer, well, that's just because sometimes the paragraphs are really long. And hopefully soon he will do a live stream again, and I'm always on there as well. I'm kind of like, he's doing the live stream and I let him know, like, if people are asking questions, I kind of jump in and answer them. But I legit want everybody to know that you guys are the reason why they keep going. And that's a big deal. And it's really nice. And it's nice to know that you take the time out of y'all's day to look at this cute ass face. So,
Okay. Thank you,
goodbye,
everyone.
We need like a theme song.
Okay, I'll put it in post. Yes.
Dun, 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 dun. Wait, au revoir. I think that means goodbye. It's either goodbye or hello.